Previously on the Smurfs of the Law, a fun day at the fair turned upside down when sabotage struck the sack race. With chaos, itching powder, and a mystery afoot, Brainy Smurf launched an investigation. Now, tensions rise as the search for answers continues. Welcome to Chapter 5. At the fair, a Smurf asks the law enforcers about the progress of the investigation, asking if it has come full circle. Brainy says that the situation is more complex than simply issuing fines. Brainy insists that their reputation is on the line and they must try a different approach to catch the culprit. Hefty looks puzzled as Brainy raises his fist determinedly, emphasizing the urgency of their new strategy. Brainy reveals that the suspect has declared he will strike again, predictably under the cover of night. Hefty listens attentively. They decide to keep watch on the fairground all night if necessary, though Hefty hesitates at the prospect of such a long vigil. Brainy dismisses the concern, determined to find any leads no matter the cost. Brainy insists there are no excuses and they must smurf tirelessly for clues, prompting Hefty to agree and offer to prepare snacks for their night watch. They both prepare themselves seriously for the long night ahead. Later that night, the two Smurfs arrive at the fair, ready to keep a vigilant eye on the entire area. Brainy volunteers to watch from under the refreshment bar. Hefty Smurf plans to hide behind a panel to observe discreetly, while Brainy encourages him to stay focused and keep his eyes wide open. They prepare to monitor the surroundings carefully, determined to catch any suspicious activity. Hefty hides behind a Gargamel picture close up the panel. Only his eyes can be seen on the panel. The night air is tense as Hefty is snoring loudly behind the panel. Nearby, Brainy Smurf lies asleep under a table stacked with cups, his peaceful snoring filling the quiet night while he rests on the grass. Suddenly, a sharp cracking noise startles the sleeping Brainy Smurf awake, and he blinks in confusion as he tries to understand what just happened. He cautiously peeks out from under the table, his eyes wide as he surveys the surroundings to identify the source of the noise. Realizing someone is moving, Brainy Smurf urgently commands him to stop. Just then, Brainy tries to step up quickly, but his head bumps to a table above him. And a pile of cups above the table collapses with a loud bonk on the Smurf, causing a chaotic mess and catching him completely off guard. Rubbing his head, Brainy winces and exclaims in pain, surprised by the unexpected shock of the falling cups. Determined to regain control, Brainy blows his whistle sharply, the loud try-it sound echoing through the night. Not far from Brainy's location behind a panel, Hefty, who were just walking up, quickly responds to a call, saying he is present and ready for orders. He cautiously approaches a picnic table, noticing a suspicious shadow moving nearby, and gestures with his hands as if to signal or warn. He is clearly on high alert, trying to catch the intruder. Holding a baton firmly, Hefty declares, "One step closer," as he advances towards the shadow, determined to capture whoever is causing trouble. Suddenly, after he passes the path between woody panel, he shouts, "No one!" Brainy Smurf approaches Hefty location, exclaiming that the culprit has slipped past them once again, right under their noses. Hefty Smurf turns with a determined glare, ready to redouble their efforts. Brainy Smurf reprimands Heft for possibly sleeping on the job, which Hefty Smurf admits with an apologetic "Yes, Chief." "Sorry, Chief." Brainy Smurf reflects that despite their efforts, the troublemaker had enough time to pull off another devious stunt. His arms are crossed as he contemplates their next move. Both Smurfs agree that they will search the entire fair until they catch the mischievous Smurf. They begin moving together with a renewed sense of purpose. Hefty stands determined under the night sky, with one confidently assuring the chief that they will find the culprit. While they are walking, they see a pair of flying pig-shaped balloons which represent them in pigs with law enforcer uniform at the fair, but Hefty tells the chief that he doesn't see any resemblance to them. Brainy orders his partner to fetch scissors so they can cut up the balloons before anyone else notices. After cutting through all balloons, they admit defeat and decide to rest for a few hours since there is nothing left to investigate at the moment. Hefty expresses how tired he is. Later, the two Smurfs of law report to Papa Smurf that the culprit treats them like donkeys, making them lose hope. Papa Smurf listens thoughtfully as they express their frustration. Papa Smurf contemplates a strategy, suggesting they could provoke the culprit to lure him into a trap, but wonders which one to target. Papa Smurf shares a plan with the officers and asks them to bring all the hazelnuts they have collected. The Smurfs of Law look curious and intrigued by his mysterious proposal. As the fair continues into the afternoon, a Smurf uses a megaphone to announce that the Smurfs of the Law have invited everyone to their tent. Some Smurfs stand near a booth discussing the Smurf code, with one mocking the focus on the code while another insists it's always important. They hear announcement of tempting hazelnut cream offered at the event. The Smurfs continue their conversation, emphasizing that the hazelnut cream is particularly interesting than the code. One Smurf says the hazelnuts come from them which have taken from them. A large tent attracts a crowd, as the invitation from the Smurfs of the Law has clearly been well received, drawing many Smurfs eager to see what is inside. They walk toward the tent with curiosity and anticipation. Inside the tent, Smurfs sample the hazelnut cream and praise its delicious taste and its supposed health benefits, joking about feeling less bloated. They enjoy the treat and engage in lively conversation about it. Hefty Smurf remains vigilant outside the tent, keeping watch to ensure that everything stays safe and orderly amidst the festivities. Brainy Smurf talks with Hefty Smurf, who just walk into the tent, asking if he have noticed anything suspicious. Hefty says that no trouble seems to have occurred so far. He speculates that maybe no one dared cause any problems today. Meanwhile, Papa Smurf assures the Smurfs that there will be enough hazelnut cream for everyone, proudly explaining that they have prepared an entire barrel full. Suddenly, Smurfette hears something outside the tent. She listens carefully to the chirping sounds coming from outside of the tent, and she thinks that a little bird must have caused some disturbance. Brainy Smurf notices the odd chirping of a bird nearby as well, and comments on its strange song that the bird has. Hefty volunteers to go outside and investigate the source of the sound. Hefty, heading out, pushes through the other Smurfs, telling them to get out of his way as they warn him to watch out. He moves quickly and purposefully toward the source of the disturbance. He realizes that the noise is coming from behind a large tent and hurries in that direction, determined to find out what is causing the commotion. The other Smurfs seem curious and concerned as they watch him leave. Near a wooden barrel by the tent, a Smurf with mask drilling a wood barrel. The strange chirping sound comes from the barrel drilling activity. Suddenly, Hefty appears from behind the tent and confronts the Smurf with mask near the barrel, who seems startled and caught off guard. Hefty declares firmly that this time, the Smurf with mask is caught, as a drilling device is dropped by the Smurf with mask to the ground behind him. The Smurf who is almost caught suddenly dashes away, leaving Hefty, who is trapped by the drilling device. Hefty's legs are twisted around the drilling device. Hefty falls hard onto the ground with a loud thud, stars swirling around his head from the impact. He lies face down, stunned and momentarily unable to get up. Hefty quickly points at Brainy, who just arrived, urgently calling out to Brainy that this is the saboteur they have been chasing. Brainy and his companion break into a fast run, dashing past tents and obstacles as the whistle is blown loudly. But the saboteur nowhere to be found. Hefty laments that the saboteur slipped away behind their own Smurfs, frustration clear in his voice as Brainy nearby reacts with a loud cry of despair. Brainy expresses his exasperation, admitting he missed again and fears having a nervous breakdown. Hefty, alarmed, declaring to Papa Smurf, who just arrives, that the saboteur has escaped once more and all hope seems lost. Papa Smurf appears calm and confident, telling them not to worry because he has outsmarted the saboteur with a clever trick of his own. His reassuring smile gives hope to the others. Papa Smurf explains he sprinkled a special liquid from his own concoction around the barrel area, believing the saboteur must have come into contact with it. The other Smurfs listen intently, intrigued by his plan. He continues, describing how the liquid evaporates, leaving behind tiny sparkling crystals on anything it touches. This residue will reveal the saboteur's trail, giving them a chance to catch him after all. Two Smurfs of Law are searching the area carefully while Papa Smurf watches them with a confident smile. Brainy reports that he sees nothing unusual to Papa Smurf, who remains calm and patient. Papa Smurf reveals he anticipated their difficulty and hands Brainy a magnifying glass for closer inspection. He explains that this tool will help them reveal what their eyes alone cannot see. Brainy peers through the magnifying glass and excitedly confirms to Papa Smurf that he can now see the tiny sparkling crystals left behind. Encouraged, they realize they are on the right track. Brainy spots more crystals and points out that the saboteur must have moved in that direction. Hefty listens attentively as they start following the shimmering trail. Thanks for watching Chapter 5. If you're enjoying the twists and turns in Smurf Village, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Chapter 6 is on the way. Stay tuned.